Welcome to About Mansfield. It is your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo, broadcasting from the Cellmark studio, along with the About Mansfield news team. Colleen Daniel, she's out there in Studio West. This is the January 14th, 2026, 303rd edition. Coming up, it's Mansfield news, talk, and information. Let's take a look at the headlines of the stories we're covering this week.
Methodist Mansfield president named chair of Regional Hospital Council.
What's the projected local economic impact from the World Cup? We'll talk about it in a moment with the mayor.
Mansfield ranks among Texas's most affordable home buying cities.
Mansfield native Josh Weathers signs publishing deal.
Mansfield opens applications for 2 advisory boards.
Free grease recycling closes at the end of the month.
City offices closed on Monday for MLK Day.
And in sports, Lake Ridge Senior named Lineman of the Year.
And in the talk segment, Steve concludes his in-studio talk with professional rideshare driver Michael Layne. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
Looking for a night out that's anything but ordinary? Step into Vault Seafood and Steakhouse, Mansfield's premier upscale dining experience. Savor perfectly aged steaks, fresh seafood, and handcrafted cocktails, all served in a stunning atmosphere. Want more? Enjoy private dining rooms and a cigar lounge for that extra touch of luxury. Vault delivers exceptional flavor in a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Located at Matlock and Country Club, Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. Unforgettable nights. Unmatched taste.
Hi, I'm Olympic long jumper Jacob Fincham-Dukes, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by Vault Seafood and Steakhouse.
The Dallas-Fort Worth Hospital Council has announced its Board of Trustees for 2026, naming Juan Fresquez, president of Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, as chair. Fresquez will lead the Regional Hospital Trade Organization, representing 90 hospitals and 90 associate members across North Texas. The council focuses on healthcare quality, access, and collaboration among hospital systems in the region. Also elected to board leadership is Will Turner, president of Baylor Scott and White Medical Center in Waxahachie, as chair-elect. Vanessa Walls of Children's Health will serve as past chair. The new board includes executives from major health systems across North Texas, including UT Southwestern, Texas Health Resources, Parkland Health, JPS Health Network, Medical City, Cook Children's, Baylor Scott and White, and Kindred Hospitals. The Dallas-Fort Worth Hospital Council has served the region for more than 56 years and is governed by hospital executive officers from its member organizations.
The Mansfield City Council held a regularly scheduled meeting on Monday evening. The following opinions, those of Michael Evans, may not necessarily reflect those of the Mansfield City Council, as we do. Oh my gosh, it's been a couple of months.
It has been a couple of months, but guess what? It's 2026, sir.
Top of the morning to Mayor Michael Evans.
Top of the morning to you. It's good to see you and good to be here.
And you know what? Let's just jump right into it. You met Monday evening. You started off with, let's talk about economic impact on the World Cup coming to Mansfield.
It is upon us. Can you believe it? We're talking about, maybe about 4 months, and the new stadium opening and all that stuff. It's going to be outstanding. We did hear updates from our community engagement and community services team regarding the World Cup coming to the DFW region, in particular to Mansfield, the economic impact, and I mean this in a very positive way, meaning money coming into our city, upwards of about $40 million. And that's good for everybody. That's
Absolutely.
Good for everybody. And we also talked about Rose Park. We're still celebrating the opening of Rose Park, as well as the reopening, rather. And phase 2 is coming under construction very soon. Steve, you won't believe we've had about 56 1,000 people that have been out to the park since the reopening. Mind-boggling.
My wife and I were out there on a Saturday. We were out riding bikes. We stopped by to watch people, the little kids going in the mouth of Walnut the squirrel
Yes.
and out the other end, and it was just magic.
Well, you know what? I took that ride myself, and it was fun. I was just glad my knees held up.
There you go. Let's get into the consent agenda.
All right, let's talk about it. So we had 8 consent agenda items, including the adoption of the Tarrant County Hazard Mitigation Action Plan. City of Mansfield dedicated a year and a half to actually collaborating with Tarrant County and over 30 local jurisdictions to develop this updated plan that it's going to replace our old hazard mitigation plan. This actually just helps to provide a safe community for our residents, so we approved that. Council also approved a contract for the construction of a Heritage Parkway eastbound lane, sir, in the amount of $4.6 million. That will be constructed as 3 lanes, and other improvements expected in this contract include extending the westbound right turn lane at South Main Street and adding a 8-foot sidewalk on the south side of the roadway to improve citywide mobility. We also approved a construction contract for Capco concrete structures in an amount not to exceed $1.3 million for on-call services with respect to asphalt pavement improvements throughout Mansfield. Now, Steve, let me tell you why this is important, because by utilizing this contractor, Mansfield can address necessary asphalt improvements in a faster way without removing our staff from their current street projects. So this will help us, we hope, to continue building our stronger neighborhoods and getting those potholes and all that other stuff fixed a lot faster. That's the hope.
Let's conclude with the Staybolt Entertainment District.
You know what? That is moving so fast. I don't know if folks have had the opportunity to see how the stadium is doing, but it is going at breakneck speed. So we approved a development plan for the Mansfield Sports District, Phase 3, within the Staybolt Street Entertainment District. Mm-hmm. Now, think about it. This area is divided into 3 lots. It's going to include the hotel, several hotels, but in particular, the Hotel Convention Center, an office tower, which will be the largest that we've had, up to about 13 stories. Mm-hmm. And believe that's crazy, just with me saying that. Mixed use blocks, and all of which are part of the new entertainment district, encompassing about 17 and a half acres. Who even knew all of that was over there? And we're really focused on the future. We're ensuring that this development plan meets the criteria that's needed to get these new amenities up and available for our residents. You'll see that early part of 2027. And believe it or not, sir, that was it in regard to our city council.
As I saw a post on Facebook, the future of Mansfield is unfolding. And it is.
It's you know what? It's unfolding right in front of us. It's an exciting time to be in Mansfield. It really is. We're watching our city grow up around us, and I hope that we're doing it in a way that helps everyone to feel at home.
That, my friends, is called A Moment with the Mayor. That is Mayor Michael Evans. Michael Evans, go forth. Again, good to see you. It's been a couple of months. And
all right, brother. And you go forth and prosper. How about that?
A new analysis from Redfin places Mansfield among the 20 most affordable cities in Texas for buying a home. The ranking is based on payment to income ratio, which measures how much of a household's income typically goes toward a monthly mortgage. Housing is generally considered affordable when that figure is around 30% or less. According to Redfin's data from January through October of 2025, Mansfield ranks 13th statewide. In Mansfield, the median home sale price was about $478,000. Median household income for Mansfield was just over $116,000. Redfin estimates a household would need roughly $122,000 in annual income to purchase a home at the median price, with a typical monthly mortgage payment of about $3,054. That puts Mansfield's payment-to-income ratio at 31.4%. Redfin notes that while home prices across Texas remain historically high, some communities still fall near the commonly used affordability benchmark, offering potential options for buyers priced out of larger markets. The full ranking is available through Redfin's Housing Market Report.
Mansfield High School alum Josh Weathers has signed a publishing deal with Seagale Music in Nashville. Weathers released his latest project, Neon Never Fades, on January 2nd. In addition to his music career, Weathers and his wife Katie co-founded the Love Like You Mean It Foundation, which focuses on combating human trafficking in India and El Salvador. A publishing agreement typically involves a songwriter assigning or licensing some portion of their songwriting copyright to the publisher in exchange for services such as pitching your songs to artists, labels, film, or TV, collecting and administering publishing royalties, or helping develop your career as a writer. Seagale Music president Chris Dubois called Weathers a generational talent, citing his vocal ability and live performance presence, and said the company is looking ahead to the next phase of his career. A 41-year-old Mansfield High School alum, Weathers said he is honored to join Seagale Music and praised the organization's approach to songwriting and artist development, calling it the right fit for his next chapter.
The City of Mansfield is accepting applications for 2 boards and commissions positions, including seats on the newly formed Capital Improvements Advisory Committee and a vacancy on the Keep Mansfield Beautiful board. City officials say the advisory roles allow residents to provide input and share professional expertise on issues affecting the community. Under state law, applicants for the Capital Improvements Advisory Committee must have experience in one or more of the following areas: development, construction, engineering, finance, planning, or municipal infrastructure. The application deadline is Sunday, January 25th. Applications are available through the city's boards and commissions application process on the City of Mansfield website. Residents can search for boards and commissions to access the form.
Still got that big vat of fried turkey grease hanging around your house from the holidays? It's time to get rid of it, but your time is running out. The City of Mansfield is continuing its holiday grease roundup through January 31st. During that time, residents can recycle used cooking oil at no cost by dropping it off at the Environmental Collection Center located at 616 South Wisteria Street. The do-it-yourself collection station is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week throughout the event. Mansfield residents are being reminded not to pour used cooking oil or grease down household drains even after the holiday season has ended due to the risk of clogged pipes and sewer problems. You want some more information on this? It's available on the city website.
The City of Mansfield will close municipal offices on Monday, January 19th, in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The Mansfield Public Library will remain open during normal business hours. The Mansfield Activities Center will also be open as usual, though the Senior Lifestyles program will be closed for the day. Mansfield Animal Care and Control will be closed Monday and will resume normal hours on Tuesday, January 20th. Utility payments can still be made using the drop-off box at City Hall or online at any time. Curbside trash and recycling collection will operate on the regular schedule.
Lake Ridge Senior named Lineman of the Year, and we'll talk about it because sports is next.
Hungry for bold flavor and a good time? Head on over to El Primo's to enjoy sizzling fajitas and their signature blue margarita. Enjoy weekend live entertainment and let the kids run wild with an outdoor play area and arcade. Planning a party? Multiple private rooms are available, including the all-new Parrot's Nest to make your event a success. Food, fun, and flavor for the whole family at El Primo's. Visit elprimos.net and bring your appetite. Located at Matlock and Country Club. El Primo's, where the locals go.
Mansfield Plumbing, Electrical, Heating, and Air is a family-owned local service provider with over 20 years of experience. Servicing Mansfield and surrounding areas, we offer expert plumbing, electrical, heating, and air solutions focused on quality workmanship, customer satisfaction, fair pricing, and guaranteed results for homes and businesses.
Call 817-473-8888. Mansfield Plumbing's never second rate.
In sports, before Saturday's Navy All-American Bowl kicked off, the nation's top high school football players were honored Friday night at the All-American Bowl Awards show in San Antonio. Among the 6 national awards presented, one of the night's top honors went to Mansfield. Lake Ridge High offensive tackle Felix Ojo was named Lineman of the Year, recognizing him as the top high school lineman in the country. Ojo is a 5-star recruit who had 50 college offers and signed with Texas Tech and is widely regarded as one of the premier offensive line prospects in the 2025 class. At 6'6", 275 pounds, Ojo has drawn national attention for his combination of size, athleticism, refined footwork, and pass protection ability. His performance at Lake Ridge helped anchor one of the area's most formidable offensive fronts and placed Mansfield on the national recruiting map. The Navy All-American Bowl was played on Saturday, featuring the top senior football players from across the United States, including Mansfield's own Felix Ojo. He played for Team West. Unfortunately, the East team won 17-14. In hardcourt action, some pretty close games on Friday night as your Mansfield Tigers boys basketball nipped Crowley 64-63. Legacy was edged by Boswell 64-69. And the Timberview girls were just 4 points away from victory as they fell to Everman 36-33. All 5 Mansfield ISD boys team are still standing at over 500 as Timberview tops the list at 18-3. Your Mansfield Tigers are 17-4. Lake Ridge stands at 14-7. Summit had a huge win over Joshua, 71-22. They now stand at 15-5, and Legacy at 14-11. Lake Ridge tops the Mansfield ISD girls standing with a 17-5 record. Summit is 15-5, and Legacy is 13-12. Your Mansfield Lady Tigers are 12-9, and the Timberview Lady Wolves are still trying to find their groove. Currently stand at 5-16. And that, my friends, is a look at sports. This coming Saturday, January 20th, marks 106 years since the United States went dry. Yes, we're talking about Prohibition. In 1920, the 18th Amendment banned the making, selling, and transporting of alcohol. Supporters believed it would reduce crime, poverty, and family problems. Instead, illegal alcohol took over. Bootleggers sold in secret. Organized crime quickly followed. And hidden bars called speakeasies opened across the country, similar to La Rouge inside Vault Seafood and Steakhouse right here in Mansfield. During the Great Depression, the government needed tax money and public support disappeared, so in 1933, Prohibition ended with the 21st Amendment. It turns out, outlawing alcohol was easier than outlawing the desire to drink.
Coming up after the break, we turn the page to the features section.
I'm Angel Biasatti, and we're talking about simple ways you can be more active at work. In Methodist Mansfield News to Know.
This week's cocktail is your reward for not skipping the fundamentals. It's timeless, it's balanced, and it's what happens when tradition meets execution every single time.
We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
And Colleen, before we go to break, a short reminder, if you are a business owner or manager, we would love for you to consider adding About Mansfield to your advertising or marketing budget for 2026. Help keep our lights on. Show our great community that you care about keeping news alive here in Mansfield. You can reach out to us through our website contact page at aboutmansfield.com. This portion of the news was brought to you by El Primo's. where the locals go.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool hand, cool hand, cool hand, where excellence is still cool.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a Level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years' experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
Congratulations to Jen Hurst, who was the first person to correctly answer last week's Mansfield trivia question. According to the U.S. Census website, Mansfield, Texas overtook Mansfield, Ohio as the nation's most populated city named Mansfield during the 2010s. And here's a fun fact. The least populated Mansfield can be found in South Dakota with 86 citizens. Looking for the weekly, highly coveted, wildly popular About Mansfield trivia question? You can find it in its new home on the About Mansfield Facebook page. So, log on to Facebook right now and hit the About Mansfield News Talk page. As always, the first person to email the correct answer will win a $25 restaurant gift card courtesy of joejenkinsinsurance.com. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Darrell Evans of the 1984 World Champion Detroit Tigers, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. Let's open up the features section. Angel Biasatti is here to talk about simple ways you can be more active at work in Methodist Mansfield News to Know. Angel?
Here's a question for you. How long have you been sitting today? If it feels like most of the day is spent in a chair, you're not alone. But sitting too much, being sedentary, can take a serious toll on your health. Sitting for long periods can increase your risk for heart disease, diabetes, back pain, and even decrease your energy. The good news, you do not need to run a marathon to combat it. Even small movements at work can make a significant difference. Here's some simple tips to stay active throughout your workday. Try the 28-2 rule. For every 30 minutes, sit for 20, stand for 8, and move for 2. A short stretch, a quick walk keeps your blood flowing. Make movement a routine. Take those stairs. Stand during phone calls, or walk over to a coworker's desk instead of sending an email. Stretch breaks. Stand up and stretch every hour. It eases tension in your neck, shoulders, and back. Use a standing desk or desk converter. Alternate between sitting and standing. Keeps your muscles active and your energy high. At Methodist Mansfield, we know that minor changes lead to big health benefits. Moving more during your day can boost your energy, your focus, and overall wellness, and it's easier than you think. So take this as your reminder. Stand up, stretch, and get moving. Your body will thank you for it. For more tips on health, visit MethodistHealthSystem.org. That's Methodist Mansfield News to Know. I'm Angel Biasatti, reporting for the About Mansfield podcast.
Shaken or stirred, you know it's going to be good as Brian Certain serves up a drink where tradition meets execution every single time. In this week's Cocktail of the Week, Brian.
Welcome to the Cocktail of the Week, brought to you by Bourbon Gospel. And I'm your host, Brian Certain, and every week I serve up a pour with a purpose. Whether you're celebrating milestones, chasing rest, or sipping your way into better decisions. Consistency. It's that trait we all claim to crave until it shows up in the form of leg day, flossing, or monthly budget meetings. But what if I told you that consistency could be smooth, rich, and comforting? Like finding your favorite vinyl in a thrift bin or remembering exactly how Grandma made her Sunday roast. This week's cocktail is the gold standard old fashioned. It's refined, no shortcut twist on the drink, and arguably it's the drink that started it all. We're talking rich bourbon, a touch of Demarest simple syrup, and bitters layered with a whisper of vanilla bean to give this classic a warm golden consistency that doesn't just meet expectations, it also sets them. This is the drink that shows up when it's supposed to, that performs under pressure, that never goes out of style. Ingredients are 2 ounces of a high-quality bourbon. Come on, guys. Bottom shelf bourbon is designed to stay on the bottom. A half ounce of Demarest simple syrup, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, 1 dash of orange bitters, a tiny splash of vanilla extract, orange peel, and of course, a Lizardo cherry for garnish. In a mixing glass, combine the bourbon, syrup, bitters, and vanilla. Add ice and stir for 30 seconds until well chilled and smooth. Then strain into a rocks glass over a single large ice cube. Then express the oils from an orange peel over the top and drop it in and garnish with that luxurious Lizardo cherry. Sip, savor, and enjoy the comfort of a cocktail that never lets you down. The Old Fashioned is the cornerstone of American mixology. It dates back to the early 1800s, when cocktails were defined as sugar, spirits, water, and bitters. That's it. The term Old Fashioned came from the late 19th century when patrons started requesting their drinks made the old-fashioned way. The Demarest simple syrup adds rich molasses notes more than basic simple syrup, and the vanilla, well, that's our modern wink. It's a nod to bourbon's natural sweetness and a way to add a whisper of comfort. This week's word, consistency. This is the drink that embodies it with every swirl and every sip. It's not flashy, it's not trendy, but it shows up strong, it shows up smooth, and it's satisfying every single time. In life, in cocktails, consistency does not mean boring. It means dependable. And in a world obsessed with novelty, that's rare and it's very beautiful. Now, I promised you a mocktail version, so here we go. So 2 ounces of a rooibos tea, cooled. You can get that online. We're still going to use that Demarest simple syrup. We're still going to use the orange bitters. A non-alcoholic version is available. A splash of vanilla extract, and then garnish with the orange peel and the cherry. You build it in a rocks glass over an orange cube, stir gently, and sip your way into steady greatness. As always, I'm open to hear your take and your input. You can reach me at brian@bourbongospel.com. And until next week, as Mark Twain said, too much of anything is bad. But too much whiskey, well, that's barely enough. Reporting for the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Brian Certain.
We're back in 60 seconds with the conclusion of Steve's in-studio interview with professional rideshare driver Michael Layne.
Imagine a city where innovation knows no bounds, where dreams take flight, and the future unfolds before your very eyes. Welcome to Mansfield, a beacon of growth and a testament to vision. In the heart of Mansfield, a remarkable transformation is underway. But it's not just about the physical landscape. It's about the spirit that drives us forward. A spirit of collaboration that bridges cultures, a spirit of entrepreneurship that fuels prosperity, and a spirit of community that binds us as one. Mansfield is more than just a place. It's a canvas where diversity paints the picture of progress. From art festivals that ignite creativity to tech hubs that redefine boundaries, this city celebrates every voice, every passion. Mansfield, where growth knows no limits and the vision is limitless. Brought to you by the unstoppable spirit of the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
Hi, this is Mansfield ISD Superintendent Dr. Kimberly Cantu, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. And this week we conclude our conversation with Uber Mike, professional rideshare driver Michael Layne. Enjoy. Weirdest ride.
The weirdest, I have tons of them, like I said, over 25,000, but I'll give you one where I picked up a lady and she gets in the car and we're taking off like normal.
Yeah.
And she said, "Hey, I forgot to lock the door." And to your house?
To the house. Okay.
Yeah. So we didn't take off. I mean, literally probably like 2 seconds we started taking off. So I said, of course. So I back up and she goes inside the house and I'm like, I thought she forgot to lock the front door. But she goes in about a minute. She comes back out. She gets into the car again and we're taking off. She said, "Oh, I forgot to lock the door." And then so, my next question was, I thought you just did that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I back up and I'm like, okay. So she goes in the house again, comes back out. She gets into the car. And what do you think happens again? "Oh, I forgot to lock the door."
Uh-oh.
3 times. So I said, "Ma'am, you're going to have to find another driver," because to me, I just felt that it was a possible setup because that person, whoever was going to supposedly get me, didn't do what they were supposed to do, so she had to keep saying, "I have," you know what I mean?
Right.
So that was kind of a spooky one for me.
To me, it sounds like maybe there was a mental thing going on.
Could be.
That it could have been, whether it's dementia but you don't know.
I don't know. But for me, for my safety, I'm thinking the worst. So
that you don't want to find that story on social media, horror stories.
There's a lot of deceased drivers, yeah.
Did you ever go into a neighborhood where you're going, I'm not sure?
Yeah. That's why I said that 5 to 7 minute wait time.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we're in dark situations where you don't know if it's an ambush. So me as a driver, I'm always looking, when I'm pulling up, I'm always paying attention to where's some escape routes just in case. And sometimes I'm pulling up on cul-de-sacs.
Right.
So I'm always positioning my car where if something pops off, I'm out. As a driver, you should be aware of pay attention to movements.
And that's one thing I did that, again, I only did like 20 drives, but one of those drives was pulling into a cul-de-sac, and you're looking at your surroundings, and it was the last house in the cul-de-sac, and instead of facing toward the house, I actually kind of went around so that if something were to happen, I'm facing the exit of the cul-de-sac. And it turned out a young lady coming out, actually in full camo. She was an ROTC student and very, very respectful. It was like, okay.
Yes, because you do feel good, like, yeah.
But you have to wonder about every person getting in your car.
You have to. That rating, passengers, just like as a driver, we have ratings. Passengers have ratings too. And I remember asking Uber myself personally, I said, "What's a low rating for a passenger?" Because remember, I was new, and they said if anything 4.75 or below for a passenger or a driver is poor. So from that, I gauged that number. So if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I see a 4.6, you're not getting picked up by me at all.
Wow.
That number is so crucial because let me give you an example. We use rating systems for everything, right? For our hotels, for our restaurants,
yeah.
Our mechanics. We look at ratings, right? We look at ratings for passengers too. That means that's other drivers saying that there's something wrong with this passenger. And I give the rating system a little leeway because that doesn't mean it's actually that passenger. Maybe somebody else used their account and caused harm, to a driver or something like that, vomited, left the car messed up, disrespected the driver. So many reasons why there's rating. But every passenger starts off with a 5.0 rating. When you download the app, you're already at 5. If you get a bad rating, it's 4.99. You get another bad rating, 4.98. Another bad rating, 4.97. So it takes a long time to get to 4.2.
Sure,
that means you have done some things to other drivers.
People have left stuff I would assume, in your car.
Yes, I do have a lost and found box.
You do?
Yes.
Do you go beyond and then and ship something back to the passenger?
So we get a $20 fee if we have to drive back, because just imagine a Saturday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, we're partying. I'm picking one ride after the next, and then you see a cell phone. Well, then now you're taking me out of my time, so I have to get this phone back to you. So guess what? There's a fee to that, Now, people have left some valuable things in my car, and they have 1 year to get in contact with me, or it's mine. So it's usually glasses. It's usually just plastic stuff or whatever. People leave vaping pens in my the vaping cartridge.
Are people allowed to vape in your car?
No.
That's
another pet peeve.
Oh.
Now, some drivers allow it because some drivers do vape.
Yeah.
So my thing is, ask the driver, am I allowed to? So what I do to trick people in my car, I lock all of my windows. So typically the person that's not going to ask you, their first thing that they would do is roll down the window.
Right.
When they can't roll down the window, I'm like, is it cold? It's like, no, I need to vape. No, you need to ask me.
Right.
That's how I get them to ask me. And I let them know from that point, I don't allow vaping. Well, what's the big deal? I'm paying for the ride. Well, one thing is, I don't know what you're blowing in my car, too. And then people don't want to smell that. You're getting out of my car, you're going to walk off with life, and then have to deal with you're older, and another passenger has to deal with that.
And the next guy smells your hamburger that you
That's my first ride with Lyft. You know what I mean? Yeah.
One of the drives that I did, I never wanted to cancel in fact, I never even knew how to cancel a ride. Mm-hmm. So I had dropped someone off at the airport. I thought, okay, I'll pick up one more passenger, maybe to take me back to Mansfield.
Maybe.
Somewhere close. Mm-hmm. And while I'm dropping off someone at the airport, ping, we get a new ride. Mm-hmm. Great. I go pick them up. They go into McKinney.
Wow, you're going way back north.
I'm going way back north. And
I've had that happen.
And I drop him off at his location. He gets his suitcase out of the back. Mm-hmm. Off he's gone. Mm-hmm. And then I get a text or somehow notification, I left my jacket in the trunk. Well, me being the nice guy.
You drove back.
No, I didn't drive back. I mailed it to him. Mailed it to him thinking, maybe he'll send me a check for the postage. Maybe he'll give me a good rating or maybe he'll give me a tip. I didn't get any one of the three.
And he has all your information where you live.
Well, okay, yeah, probably return address on the package, but he was just a dad coming home from a business trip, the safety of the driver. I can see it in your face. Mm-hmm. Nobody gets that information. Nobody knows where Michael lives.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to, they could. I mean, Uber has all my information. People can find out. I mean, here's the thing. They have my license plate. So if you're cool with a cop, you can get my locations or whatever. But again, my record's clean. That's fine. And I live in a great neighborhood where all our neighbors, we work together. We know, hey, you come over here. Yeah. We know.
Yeah. Which is worse? A passenger that won't stop talking or a passenger who barely knows that you're there?
I like them both.
You like them both?
Yeah, you have to read the room as a driver.
Yeah.
So some people like to talk, and I'm engaging. As you can see, I like to talk. If you don't want to talk, I read the room and leave, because that could be between you getting a tip and a bad rating. If a person is, people are leaving from work, they're tired, so they don't want to be bothered. So the first thing I do recommend that people do is acknowledge when you get in my car, hello, good evening, good morning. And from that point on, and then what I do, I throw a question out there. Is the temperature okay in here? Because it fluctuates. We know Texas weather.
Sure.
So from that point on, you can tell if they want to talk to you or not. Okay. But typically I have my jazz or my music going, and people, they're fine. They got their headphones on, their AirPods, and they just want to just get to where they got to go.
Yeah,
and I can do both.
It's funny you mentioned jazz. So you're setting the mood for
Jazz is like a neutral thing.
Yeah,
it calms. You know what I mean?
What I used to do, especially if I was picking up from the airport, if it's a tourist, I would put on Texas music, Lyle Lovett or Robert Earl Keen or something that's kind of indicative of welcome to Texas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys even listen to Texas music,
Right.
Because you are, especially to someone who is either out of town or someone who wants a conversation. You're, in a sense, an entertainer.
Yes.
And you have to carry that conversation. And you have to set the...
to do this for 7 years, you have to read the room. You got to read, body language, even when the person enters your car, the first thing, if they don't say anything to me, I just think that's rude because it's like, hello, how you doing? You doing okay? And things like that.
And if they don't respond, then it's like...
And I force them to respond because I'm like, first thing, you're coming into my space now. Hello, how you doing? Good evening. I'm not going to bother you from here on out, but you will acknowledge when you're getting into my space. And that's it. I think it's just a common thing to say, hello, good evening, how you doing? Welcome,
Do passengers appreciate, and I don't know if you, I don't recall if you provided this, things like bottles of water or mints, or some have like little video screens on the back of their seats so that when they're sitting in the back seat, they can, I don't know, play games or look for restaurant recommendations.
Well, the thing is about a driver, everybody's different. Yeah. When I first started, I was the guy who offered water, who offered mints, until I start looking in the back seat of my car and
they're leaving trash.
They're leaving it in the cup holder. They're taking out the gum. They're putting it in the armrest. You get some rude people. So from that point on, I said, you know what? I'll make sure they have a clean car. Every passenger gets in my car, it's going to be clean, but I'm not providing that anymore. And then you don't want to provide stuff to people because if something were to happen, it's, water or whatever, something happens, did you offer them something? And next thing you're part of some type of lawsuit because remember, you're the contractor.
That's right.
So I'm not providing nothing but clean car, nice music, smell good car, and getting you where you got to go safely.
What's the longest drive you've ever done, and was it worth it?
Yes. Not now, it's not worth it. but back then, my longest drive is 3.5 hours to Oklahoma City.
Wow.
And south, 3.5 hours to Austin.
Okay, so you're going from DFW to Oklahoma City.
Yes.
How do you work your way back?
So in the app, there's called a destination feature in the app where you set your destination like, hey, I want to go back towards Dallas, and you set it, and it says, okay. So anybody going that direction, you're picking them up.
They'll ping you.
Yes.
Okay. See, that again, driver 1 and 2, the part-timer.
They're not using it. I'm using it fully because I want to get back to that destination.
Yeah.
Yes. Think of ride sharing as an iceberg, right? We've heard the term the tip of the iceberg.
Sure.
So we know the tip of the iceberg is above the water. But below that iceberg is a massive block of ice. So the tip of the iceberg is people taking out their phone and just ordering a ride. Simple, right? But below that is so many legal things. There's some insurance, maintenance of your car, how you treat people, everything. There's so much that goes under that iceberg.
That's below the surface.
There's so much.
Do you know what I would call the super secret backways? You've got little roads that that the road less traveled.
Yes.
And your clients appreciate that you're not stuck in traffic. You've taken a side detour.
Well, as a driver, you should know traffic patterns. Certain times of the day, rush hour hits. Right. We know that. If it's 3:30, it's about from 3:30 to 7:00 p.m. People are moving. They're going. There's so much movement. So you have to know, like, going north from, let's say we're in Mansfield, we're going towards the airport. By 3:30, that traffic is pretty good because everybody's coming south now.
Right.
But in the morning time, if you leave the house 5 minutes late than normal, you get into that traffic going north to the airport.
360 sucks.
Going north.
Yes.
Yeah. But coming south, not that bad. So you have to know traffic patterns. And there's certain rides I would not take if it's depending on the time of the day. If it's 8 8 a.m. in the morning, you try to go to Dallas, I'm not going that way.
No.
Do you know at 8 a.m. in Dallas traffic? Just downtown Dallas. I'm not even talking about Fort Worth. Fort Worth is another monster.
Right. Especially with the coming out of Mansfield, you got the 20, 820, 287, all that construction. And it's only like 3 miles of construction, but it is 3 miles of hell.
3 miles of hell.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you try to avoid this.
You have to know your city because you know what areas have deep construction. Why would I want to be on 287 at 8 o'clock in the morning? That's just backed up traffic. You're going to be stuck in that. Yeah. So
tell me about, because you told me something about future legislation plans, the Texas rideshare bill.
Yes.
This is something that you were involved with.
Yes.
You are going down to Austin, or you've been down to Austin?
So I was invited to come to Austin, but I think they can do a Zoom meeting
Sure.
where I can save me. I would go, and I should, but I didn't want to get there and then all of a sudden they cancel or something. I said, look, if this is serious, let's do a Zoom, because we know if we cancel, I'm not on the way down there, right? So what I'm pressing for is a Texas rideshare bill. And what it is this, for example, I'm gonna throw some at you.
Okay.
What's the minimum age for a person to drink? Minimum age.
Minimum age to drink is 21.
Got it. Right. Mm-hmm. What's the minimum age for tobacco?
18.
Depending.
No,
it's 21. 21.
Oh,
federal tobacco.
Okay.
Okay, like vaping pens and all that. It's 21.
21.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. Gambling, depending on the state, 18 and up.
All right.
And remember that 18 is always the minimum. Firearms, 18 and
18.
up.
Uh-huh.
Now you're starting to see that countries are banning even social media at 16.
Right.
For the safety of kids, right? Mm-hmm. When I say, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to say this, but pornography now. Mm-hmm. If you try to go online, you have to verify that you're 18 and up.
Right.
Right. Why do we have these things in place? For the protection of kids, right? So the Texas rideshare bill, what I'm pressing for, why is there no rideshare bill for the protection of kids in ride sharing? There's no law. So you're putting these kids behind with a stranger.
Right.
And the reason why I'm coming up with this, because there was a 12-year-old molested by an Uber driver, I would say a little over a year ago. The mother is now suing Uber right now. Personally, my personal view on the case, I don't think she's going to win that case unless Uber feels some sympathy that her 12-year-old was molested by a driver. Other than that, the mother ordered the ride for her child leaving like a hospital. And on the app, it says no passengers under the age of 18. They're expecting you as the passenger to know that.
Yeah.
So now Uber's being sued for that reason that, hey, my daughter was a civil suit, of course. And had there been some laws on the books, Uber and Lyft only responds to laws or maybe national media exposure. That's the only two things they're really scared for. I'm going to give you another thing here.
Okay.
If you have a disability and have a service animal, do you know a driver cannot refuse you at all?
Yeah.
That's against the law because service animals are protected by the American Disabilities Act.
Correct.
That's a law. Uber and Lyft, every other week, they're telling us this is a reminder that this is against the law to avoid or deny a person with a service animal. And I'm okay with that. Why is there Uber won't put that same emphasis on kids getting in these cars?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
And I would assume you've had service animals in your car.
Oh yeah, I've had plenty of service animals. Yeah, and they're better than the people. Seriously,
they just sit there and
better than the people.
Yeah, yeah. Is this legislation that you dreamt up and that you?
Yes. So yes.
Wow.
So remember, every bill comes from somebody's idea and it's to impact. And I just want here's the goal for the rideshare bill. Number one, for the protection of kids. No kid under the age of 18 cannot get in a rideshare vehicle, point blank. Now, Uber did do something that Lyft did not do. Uber does have a teenage feature in their app.
Okay.
It's called Uber Teens. It's for ages 13 to 17, where a kid can order their own Uber. But there's so much safety barriers in place that Uber put in place. They only select the top-rated drivers to pick up these kids.
Okay.
This is the problem that I have with Uber. They did not educate the public of the difference. So, for example, you have an Uber account now.
I do.
You can order a ride for someone underage, and that more than likely that driver will pick them up. But you're not supposed to do it that way. They're supposed to be registered. So it says teens on the account.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, like Steve, teen. These are the only drivers. It filters the system filters out for only these drivers. But when you take out your phone and order, you put your kid in the hands of every driver. That's the part-time driver, the in-between new drivers. You know what I mean? And that's Uber did not do a good job marketing that. They did not do a good job.
So as a teen, they should be using that teen
feature.
So they are getting the cream of the crop of drivers who have been vetted.
And they have over 10,000 plus 15,000, 20,000. You want your kid behind those drivers, not someone that started yesterday.
What's the progress of this legislation bill? Have you gotten anywhere with it?
So I gave you So I gave you the first part. The second part of the bill is that I wanted to force Uber and Lyft to educate both the parents, legal guardians, and drivers of the insurance coverage. You and I both know in the state of Texas, there's an accident every day on these roads. Mm-hmm. And all it takes is one accident, somebody runs a red light, and your child is in the vehicle. You know what I mean? If you violated their terms of service, you have no insurance coverage. When people know that it's going to impact their pockets, guess what happens? Things change, right?
Oh, yeah.
But Uber, they're not informing the drivers that, hey, you violated our terms of service. This is what Uber and Lyft are doing. And I hate to say it, but this is what I'm telling you what I'm seeing. Yeah. Uber and Lyft have a policy that covers them as a company. They're billion-dollar companies. We're covered. If a driver picks up a kid and nothing happens to that child, they got the money for the fare anyway. And we didn't see nothing, we didn't hear nothing, we move on.
Right.
But if the driver picks up that kid and something does happen, it falls right back to the driver. And the driver is the contractor. They're not employees of Uber and Lyft. They're contractors. So you can't come after us. We have our policies right here. We have them here. It's between you and the driver, not us.
That's it.
And they leave you out to dry. That's it. And that's shady business. But unfortunately, they're expecting all of us to know their terms of service.
Now we have some pretty well-connected listeners out there.
Mm-hmm.
And do you need help with the legislation, the process? Do you need introductions of people down in Austin? How can we help?
Well, just to right now, I have a meeting with legislation this week.
Okay,
and it's just breaking down what I'm seeing out here. I'm going to talk one more thing about Uber X Share. There's a feature in the app called Uber X Share. If you were to open your app, it says Share. Kids are using that. And you know how dangerous that is? Share is for, like, let's say you're going to the airport, I'm going to the airport. We all are going to split the cost of that fare.
Right.
So if you do it individually, it's let's say it's $30 to go to the airport. But if we all collectively do it together, it's $10 for you, $10 for me, $10 for me, and we're going there, right? Well, what happens is a kid has the Uber app on their phone. They're using the share ride because usually kids, they're going to use the cheapest fare. There's two grown-ups in the car along with the driver, and this 12-year-old kid, 13-year-old kid, 14-year-old kid is getting in the car with adults.
Right.
That Uber X Share is a problem. So what can you do is right now it's in the beginning stages. It just I would love to see it on a ballot to take a vote.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about a ride share bill protecting of kids under the age of 18 to not getting a ride share ride? And just know that if you put your kid in a ride share ride, there's no insurance coverage for your child. I want to take it to a vote and see what happens.
I don't see why someone would vote against that.
Mm-hmm. But it's not out there. There's no laws.
Right. That's true. If we can help, let us know. Yes. You go by the name of Uber Mike.
Yes.
Uber Mike, not only for Uber, for Lyft, but also for your podcast.
Yes.
And how can people listen or view or find out more about your podcast?
So the podcast is called More Than Just a Driver. And the reason why I titled it that way, my co-host and I, we title it that way because people just look at ride sharing. You're just driving. You're just a driver.
Oh, yeah.
You have no brain. You can't think. And with ride sharing, there's so much critical thinking and problem solving that happens with ride sharing. Like I said, that iceberg effect. You see the tip of the iceberg, you order the ride and you go, right? But under it is so many different big things, So that's I go by the name of Uber Mike because I used to call the radio station in Dallas.
Okay.
And I would call them. They would have different topics. And I would call them and say, hey, I want to put my input on this topic here. And then I said, this is Uber Mike.
Right.
So they know that it's early in the morning. Mm-hmm. I don't have a passenger yet. I'm going to make a phone call.
You're out calling talk shows.
Yes. And it's fun because it's kind of like, call us up. What do you think about this topic? And you call in, you give your opinion about it. And then I started to be like that person. Oh, Uber Mike is calling again.
Uber Mike. Yeah. So the listeners out there know that Uber Mike's got his own little personality going on.
Yeah, and I started to learn because I like, the media. I like the podcasting or whatever. And then I just had so much. My podcast is just informational. It's offering. I've had 2 guests on there. I had an insurance agent on there explaining what are your risks as a rideshare provider, what you need to have for coverage. Because again, accidents happen, right?
Right.
What's your coverage if something should happen?
In closing,
yes.
Is there anything that you want the listener to know that we haven't covered? And we never even got into vomiting in a car, but
see, that's the least of our work. It happens, and I've had it happen 9 times.
9 times
yes.
out of 25,000,
yes.
I'd say that's not bad.
Yes, I've had it happen, but
okay. Tell you what, in brief,
yes.
Who cleans up the vomit?
I do. Let me tell you why. I keep a cleaning system in my trunk because if you let that stuff sit, that's a wrap.
That's nasty.
You get it out, like flush it out. Like if you go to the trunk of my Prius, I have stuff ready to go. But I study people and I carry barf bags and I let people know. I scare them. I said, if you vomit in this car, it's a $500 charge. And again, when you hit people's pockets, people wake up.
That's right.
So I carry like the hospital bag. So I said, hey, let me know. I'll hand you the bag. And I've had people save money because they vomited in the bag.
Oh, that's okay. Cool. Again, anything our listeners should know that we haven't covered today before we close this out?
We covered just about a lot. I mean, there's a lot of pet peeves still on the table. Your rating, make sure that you respect your driver and drivers respect your passengers. Mm-hmm. I am just pushing for this Texas rideshare bill. I just need the legislators to understand what's going on. And from my perspective, over 25,000 rides, I'm not wasting no one's time. And if I do get pushback from the rideshare companies, that lets me further know they were never trying to handle unaccompanied minor situations.
Yeah.
So, but I want the protection of kids, and that's me as a driver. You don't get this far without protecting people. You follow all the guidelines, all the rules or regulations of driving, school zones, highway. You know what I mean? Safety of people.
It shows that you're a pro.
I will let you say that. I like to call myself just still learning and just teaching fellow drivers new that's just getting started, letting them know what to do, what not to do, the do's and don'ts of ride sharing. So,
well, I will know. I'll put that in the back of my mind that if I see this on a future ballot, that it came from Uber Mike.
Uber Mike,
and I appreciate that.
Okay,
it's been a wonderful hour.
Yes, okay,
and you've given me a better perspective of what's going on through the driver's mind, and thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Thank you so much.
Coming up next week on About Mansfield, we will talk in studio with yet another fine Mansfield resident. You'll just have to tune in to find out who it is. In the meantime, this is the place where you will hear the latest Mansfield news, talk, and information. Until then, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, love, or support this podcast if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. It's free and it's easy. Head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com. On the homepage, enter your email address. We will never, ever send you any spam. We promise.
About Mansfield is recorded at Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio. Hosts Steve Casillo and Colleen Daniel. Moment with the Mayor, Michael Evans. Methodist Mansfield News to Know, Angel Biasatti. Cultural Arts Calendar, Tim Roberts. Cocktail of the Week, Brian Certain. Post-production editing, mixing, and mastering, Steve Casillo, and Andrew Miner.
This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without prior written consent is strictly prohibited. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Steve Casillo, and this is About Mansfield.